Hey everybody, it's Coaster King bringing you a brand new stream. So as you can see today, we will be hopping back into Timber Network. So Timber Network is, of course, my Minecraft server, and we will be jumping right in and having some fun in the Grand Prix Speedway area of the park. Um, so unfortunately, we did have some people come on and hack the server and stuff like that, and so we did have to uh, kind of roll back our server, and so now we are back to the having to rebuild the world's tallest roller coaster, the world's tallest and fastest coaster, um, as of the time before Falcon's flight came out at Six Flags Qiddiya. Um, so I guess what I should say is that this coaster will be the tallest and fastest um, in Minecraft ever built in Minecraft. So um, right now I've just got to select it. Okay, guys, move this up. All right. So, yeah, so I know I haven't streamed in a while, so I did want to just kind of update you on that situation as far as like kind of who hacked my server and stuff. So basically, there was just a group of people from I believe it was like a free OP server on Minehut that were just kind of um trying to destroy my server, and so and so they decided to, yeah, it works. And so basically what they did was they came onto my server and they basically spawned in a bunch of armor stands to crash my server, and then and then just kind of from there the rest is history. And I had to then go back and kind of roll back my server to a version where it was no longer going to be crashed. Basically a version where the armor stands didn't exist. And so yeah, fortunately I had the backup. The server is currently whitelisted because I just cannot trust that those people um will not come on, and so as of this time the server is whitelisted. It will probably be whitelisted for the foreseeable future, um just while we work on some important builds for our park. Um so yeah, yeah, so that's just kind of what's been going on, and just overall, um, I think just as of recently, there's just been a lot of issues that I've had with Mindhood as far as just their staff team, and I've just had a lot of issues with how they treat me and other people. I just think that I'm gonna stick to my own server for the foreseeable future because I just don't really need to be like, dealing with like high levels of toxicity. Um, because I just have better ways to use my time. So, but yeah, I'm definitely glad to be back to my own server. It's definitely great to be back. It's great to be back working on it, and um, I definitely hope that we'll be able to uh, open this as soon as possible. Um, I don't really know exactly how long it'll take, but I will definitely do my best to kind of speed along this construction process. So um, whether that be sooner or later, that will just kind of all depend on uh, the time that I have and stuff to work on. All right. So I think what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to just have it go out to there. So the station, um, yeah. So like I said, yeah, I had this poster already. I actually might even still have a screenshot of it somewhere. Um, because I think I did take a picture of it. Um, I have like an older version of this coaster, but I don't have like the newer version. Unfortunately, I don't have that anymore. So, but I do have a screenshot. I actually fortunately took a screenshot of the drop tower. Actually, I was actually just looking at my files and I realized I actually did take a picture of the drop tower, which is good. Um, just kind of overall, I have a lot of records of the stuff I've built and stuff, so that's definitely very helpful. Like I would say just in general having records of stuff you built and stuff can be very helpful because then if your server does get hacked or something, then you're able to restore it. But yeah, I'm not gonna name names just because I'm not the kind of person to name names. Just other than the hackers were on Minehut, and so I'm just kind of staying away from Minehut for now for the foreseeable future because I've worked way too hard to continue to get hacked. So I'm just like, I don't want to get hacked anymore. So I'm just gonna stick to my own server. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And this is actually like I will say just in general, I think it's just kind of good to stick to kind of doing your own thing just because then you're kind of guaranteed to not have to worry about you're kind of guaranteed to not have to worry about people like hacking you and stuff. I will likely it is very likely that I will probably I'm gonna try and stream a little bit more consistently. I don't know I guess I don't know how that will look. That will kind of all depend a lot on just kind of when the best times to stream are. And I know, like for example, tomorrow I'm not going to be able to stream at all because I do work all day tomorrow, and then I'll be working kind of early on Monday. But I may stream on Monday if I have time. Um, and yeah, we'll just kind of see where the cookies crumbles basically, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But yeah, I did want to thank those who have followed my Twitch channel. Thank you so much for the follows. I actually am working toward affiliate. I'm working toward 50 followers so I can get affiliate so I can start making money off of streams. And I'm not expecting that it will pay the bills or anything. I'm not expecting it to be enough money to support me, but it's just it would be nice having a little extra income. Um, Yeah. And yeah, so actually a lot of this was just outlining that I had done. There we go. So I will say our front row lines for this ride are going to be long. So that is why I'm having an extended front row queue because I want to make sure that our front row queue will be long enough. Um, yes, I'm thinking that we'll have some sort of like pillar right there. I believe the lower part of the roof will be this side. So that'll be the lower part of the roof, and then this will be like the higher part of the roof. And I'm trying to think of how I spaced out the control booth from the track. So it looks like it was the yellow and then one block and then immediately into the control panel. And actually, I can also go to my old version of this as well to get inspiration. I will say the old version of this, so this is actually the old version of Timber Hills, which actually used to be called Cedar Hills. I was actually working on this park on Project New Tomorrow a while back. Um, So yeah, this is the old version of this coaster. I actually am not really totally sure about like this kind of the upward movement into the top hat. I'm not really sure about that. Like we're gonna have to kind of mess around with it and see what we can do with it. But yeah, I do want to find out where we had left the oh yeah, it was kind of like that. And then yeah, the I will say the control booth for this ride is pretty big because you have to obviously have all of the buttons and stuff, and then you also have to have all of the different lights and stuff. Which I think I don't oh I almost did plot home because I'm used to being on plot servers. Um And I actually am trying my best to look at chat because I realize that there are probably people. Oh, and actually, this is I do want to give a shout out to the creator of Luna Parks, Luna Love 118. She is bringing Luna Parks to my server. I did give her a world for it. And actually, I think by chat it'll show that I'm in that world, and it'll show that you're connected to Luna Parks. I'm going to go back to Timber Flags. Uh, oh, I could have sworn I had a warp to. Yeah, I definitely had a warp. Oh, hang on. I just need to adjust my speed. There we go. Um, oh, so that probably means this is a really old version of the park since the Christmas tree is still there. Um, I think I did test a lot of the rides though, so I mean, like a lot of this should still be like up and running and stuff. Actually, I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit and actually test some of these rides, make sure they're actually working. I'm also gonna look at the TCC as well. And I think I actually maybe even tested this ride already, so I think this ride I know works. And then yeah, actually for suspending coasters, what I did with this is I actually put the track on top of the I put it on top of the track instead of putting it below. And then the train just is below the track. Um, and I believe I actually even have I thought I put track on the transfer track, and I think I did, but then I think it probably got deleted when I had to roll back the server. And then this, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's a roof there. Um, I think that is still there. Yeah, so I'm honestly not really sh exactly sure what. Yeah, I guess I'm not really exactly sure what isn't there. Um, yeah, so I guess everything appears to still be there. So yeah, I guess what I can do is I can just double check by spawning the train just to ensure that because I don't know like when you revert to an older version, I don't know if that also destroys like the TCC and stuff, and train cards attachments and stuff. So I do want to check this because this is our actually I'll do a lights on POV so that you guys can watch it. But oh, and I forgot the night vision thing doesn't work right now. The night vision command doesn't work because script is being weird, so I need to fix the night vision script. Just want to make sure that. Okay. So I guess we're not actually gonna get a lights on POV like I thought we were, but it's fine. I'll try and make sure that I'll try and make sure that I fix that night vision script so that way it actually works. And it is very helpful to have it, I would say. Like, it's nice not having to like take a night vision push every time I wanna um have night vision. Yeah, so basically you can't really see anything because it's so dark in here. I am thinking about potentially adding a little bit of light onto this ride um so that way it doesn't look weird like that. That way it doesn't look completely dark. I will say granola bars are definitely a favorite snack of mine. I have a couple of granola bars that I just eat while I'm streaming. All right. Um, I wanted to say that I have a copy of this tree somewhere, so I don't think I have to like um copy paste it over. Yeah, no, I don't have to. I don't have to copy paste it because I already have a copy of it. So all I just have to do is remove it. I will say actually, sidetracking off of that, I do need to remove it, but sidetracking off of that, oh, so I will say I actually did have somebody working on a facade for this ride for me, but when I had to do like when I had to revert back to the old version, I um all of the facade is gone now, so it just doesn't really look that good now because now we just have the show building and stuff showing. So I'm reaching out to the person that did the facade for me to see if they're able to redo it. Um, and I will say the IP of the server changed because of the hacking incident. I had to change the IP of the server to make sure that the people that were hacking are not able to rejoin. So if you are wondering um, why the IP up there doesn't work, it's because I had to change the IP because of the hacking incident that we had. So that probably means there's something over here that I have to rebuild. Oh yeah, I have to rebuild the Expo Emporium. That's going to be another thing I have to rebuild. Like this is definitely where I get frustrated when people like hack and stuff because it's just really annoying to have to end up rebuilding stuff because people were immature enough to just like hack and stuff. It's just I don't really understand why people hack. It's not really something that I understand because it's like why destroy something of someone else's? It just doesn't really make sense to me. Like it just doesn't really seem like a good way to like use your time, I guess, if that makes sense. But I guess I've lived and I've learned that I can't really trust everyone. That's just kind of the sad reality of the world we live in. Oops, lamp. Redstone lamp. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like it's just kind of the sad reality of the world we live in that you can't always trust everyone. And I think my first clue that the people that did this, my first clue that they were going to do it, I think was just the fact that they were hacking and stuff, and I've never really understood the point of hacking, honestly, just because to me hacking is just it's not fun. I mean, like, it just kind of destroys things and like now I'm having to rebuild a bunch of stuff. Like I'm having to rebuild an entire roller coaster. I have to rebuild an entire gift shop. Yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and extend the. I'll extend that. There we go. Yeah, I will say I really do enjoy, like as a big roller coaster enthusiast, I really enjoy getting to work on really cool roller coaster. That I think especially this roller coaster is kind of near and dear to my heart because I love that new coaster where you get to launch super high and fast. So I'd say it's just kind of any coaster where you get to go really high and fast is something I'm very passionate about. So I need to figure out how long the trains are. Probably about that long. So probably about 15 blocks long. And so that basically 15 blocks. I'm giving it 3 blocks out of the station before we have a block section just to ensure that we have the space. Um, I'm just keeping an eye on chat because I want to just see if people are chatting. Um, Now, I do want to be careful as far as like I do want to keep this coaster far enough away from here where we're not butting into the show building, because this is the show building for Portal 2. So I'm just trying to kind of make sure I'm steering clear of it because I don't want to crash into it by accident. That includes like when I'm making the supports for the ride, I want to make sure that they're not in an area where they're gonna interfere with the show building. I think I might do smooth stone for this for the catwalk. And keep in mind that this part of the catwalk is only the block before the launch and then the launch. So that's kind of how all this will look. I will say I'm a big fan of Cheez-Its. Like they're actually another one of my favorite snacks. I really like Cheez-Its a lot. And then this is where the actual launch will begin. And then the train will actually it'll roll back a little bit, but it'll still be a couple blocks away from the previous train. Because like basically whenever the train launches, it'll like hook into the couch car and then it'll launch. So it'll go backwards a little bit and then launch. And I think if the person is unable to recreate the facade, I'm thinking about the facade for Wild Mouse. Um, if anybody, if the person who did it is unable to do it, like if they just don't have time to do it, then I'll just have to figure out how to do it. I think he said he was inspired by like apartment buildings. I think that was kind of the inspiration behind um that was kind of the inspiration behind the facade. So I should be able to figure it out. I will say I'm a huge fan of Gargantua. Like I think this coaster turned out really, really good. Like I think it was probably one of my favorite rides. Um like I think in all of the Expo Center, I think this was probably my favorite ride. And I guess I'm kind of going in a million different directions today, but um I do kind of want to give like quite, kind of a quick little tour. I do want to get some building done, but I do want to give a quick, kind of a quick little tour of kind of the Timber Resort, I guess. Like the Timber Hills Park and stuff like that. So out in this direction, this is where we have. Actually, I'm not really sure what this is. I'm trying to remember what that was exactly. Oh, I think that was one of. I want to say it was maybe a coaster train or something. I don't remember what ride that was for. But it was for a different park. But yeah. So basically, when I started the server, um, we didn't really actually have anything out here even. Like this is something I just have added since. But yeah, out here is a big road, a big long road, and then right here is a little. This was going to be like a little shopping center. There were going to be really a few stores within this little shopping strip. Um, so yeah, coming off of this road, you'd be able to access the shopping strip right here, and then like coming out of the shopping strip, you'll come out right here, and then there would be like a little yield where you would like yield to traffic and then go, and then these stoplights right here, these are controlling this intersection where we have um, this lane turning left or going straight. This lane is, I believe this lane is only able to go straight because I think I made it so that you can't make left turns right here. So the only way to get into here is through this little like right turn. I actually am starting to consider possibly making a roundabout. Um, but I don't actually know how to create a big enough roundabout for this. Um, because I think the roundabout, if you were to create a roundabout here, I think you'd have to have it be at least two, at the very bare minimum, it would have to be 2 lanes. And I just don't really feel like making one, so I don't think I'm going to make one. But yeah, I think my goal eventually would be actually even, I kind of like this wall, but my goal eventually maybe would be to tear it down. And like that would give people a way to like access the park from outside here. But yeah, once we get into the resort, so here's Timber Flags. We've got like a little park and ride over here, um, where you're able to stop on a pressure plate, which I don't know why the pressure plate isn't there. Probably because of the when we reverted the changes and stuff. Hang on. Cool. And then I just wanted to make sure it was in the right spot. Um, I guess the buses aren't going either, so I need to fix those. Um, Actually, well, let me look at what trains are actually going. Oh, that's the only one. Okay. Um, Actually, speaking of that, yeah, so the globe is still there and all the tracks and stuff are still going. Well, except for this one, which is really weird. I don't know why there's one like this just not going. But yeah, this was a park that was actually being worked on by a friend of mine. Um, and he has since abandoned this project. I think partly just because he went on to bring back an old park that he had made in the past. Um, but yeah, I had started to expand and I built like a little train station above here. Because I think I'd seen like oh yeah, train exit, train entrance. I had seen that stuff, so I thought like let's build a train. Um, and we can actually go up here. Yep, there's the train right there. And I think there was also going to be um I actually have to be totally honest, I don't remember what I created and what was already created. I want to say this may have already been near the confectionery. Um Actually, I think I can tell by the style actually that this one is mine. Or yeah, maybe it is actually originally Lincoln Park. Like maybe I just gave the stuff names. But I think what I did build though, I think I did build the Tim Hortons. Because I feel like I have a Tim Hortons in like almost every park I made, so I added one. Um but I can say that the ice cream shop over here, this was made by my friend. My friend made this and it's actually pretty cool because like he actually made like little bowls with ice cream back there. You can actually come back here and see. We actually made actual bowls with ice cream. I believe it was like ice cream heads. I think that was what he ended up using. And then there's the restrooms right there and the VIP lounge. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anything is up here yet, but that's for pass holders and pass holders only. And then there's the Emporium, which has nothing in it. First Aid also has nothing in it. Um, and yeah, over here I was thinking of building like a restaurant and a gift shop and so on and so forth. But back to what I was actually doing. Um, oh, hang on, that's actually the old version. Actually, I will show you. Hang on here for a second. I will show you something really cool you can do here. So, boom. So when we launch, you will notice that we actually go slow enough at the top or that we actually roll back. And then that just rolls back to the point where you relaunch. So I think that the wildness that we have, let me go back to, actually, let me just work even better to wildness. I do believe the version of wildness that we have on this ride is the same as the one at the original park, except that it's just indoors instead of being outdoors. Yeah, because there's the left hill. I can see this, I can just describe it. So there's the left hill and then the drop into the first mid-course block, mid-course, and then the second mid-course block with some twists and turns, and then yeah, this is definitely the same exact layout. I think I just kind of copied the original layout that I made. And I do want to be able to see. There. And actually, so all of these rides operate automatically, but in the original park, I'll actually show you how they operated manually. I think only two of the rides actually work because I don't think I have anything set up for any of the other rides. So I think the only two rides that actually truly work are um, Blue Streak and Cyclone in the original park. And then you have to spawn the train separately, though. That's kind of the one downside. But yeah, I can open restraints, open gates, close gates. Actually, let me make sure those gates aren't. Sometimes the gates are in the wrong direction because people mess with them, but oh no, I guess those are fine. And then I've just got to check all the restraints for realism purposes. But yeah, basically how this ride operates, you have one ride operator on that side, you also have one ride operator on this side. And they check from back to front, and then as they go back, then they check the restraints, visually check the restraints, and then they do dispatch enable and then say clear, and then operator then says off turn dispatches. And for the most part, I think when I have actual actually good intervals on this ride, I'm able to dispatch before the train makes it back to the station, and have it still clear the lift because the train makes it back into the station in time. Yeah, like I know by this point that the train has already made it past the first drop, and it's not, and actually I can kind of see it coming back at this point. And here it comes. Now the station block is clear, so now we're able to bring the train in. And then in order to power down the ride, you gotta hit lift stop, and then E stop, and then ride power off, E stop, reset. Like maintenance comes around basically and resets the E stop. And this ride actually has like a whole display right here, and so you can tell. I actually, and I was gonna say, I think that stuff opens and stuff even when there's no train. But all three of these, the gates closed, restraints locked, lift on. And I want to say the lift has to be clear before you're able to dispatch, because I think if you try to dispatch with a train on the left, I don't think that works. And for the most part, you're not really able to dispatch when a train is on the left anyway. And I will say this ride actually can lag my game a little bit because the ride model is just kind of big for this one. I'm just gonna forego the restraint check and just say dispatch enable, and then you'll notice that the clear light comes on, dispatch clear, and then when you dispatch, you have to give it a second before it'll turn off. Yeah, so now it is no longer able to dispatch. All right, I was just responding to a couple of messages in Discord. All right. And then, so now, yes, actually, I do want to test that actually because I'm actually curious now if I had programmed it right. All clear? Oh, something's going on. Oh, gates just weren't closed for some reason. Okay. I'm gonna just redo that real quick to make sure that the ride is acting the way it should. Yeah, got the dispatch clear. And I think actually what I'm thinking of is probably the fact that if the lift is not on, you're not able to dispatch. That might be what I'm thinking of. And I do have to cycle restraints every time, even when I'm trying to be quick like this. I do still have to cycle restraints. I actually am able to dispatch when the lift is occupied, which really shouldn't happen, but. Oh, and actually, I guess I do have a lift sound effect for this, right? I'd forgotten I had done that. I'm gonna go and turn off the lift, and then I'm gonna go ahead and e-stop. I'm actually gonna e-stop because I want to see if I can get it to stop on the mid-course brake run. Because if I can time it right, I can make it stop. And yeah, as you can see, the mid-course brake run isn't long enough for this train because I think I had initially designed this for minecart trains, and minecart trains are a lot shorter. I will say I am glad to be on episode 37 of Timber Network because I never thought I'd make it this far because like I honestly wasn't really sure if I was going to stream again, honestly, just because like I just have um oh yeah, that's why. Because I just I've just been busy. So I just haven't really had the time um run my park. Uh like I haven't really had time to really do much um outside of just playing Minecraft, playing Schedule One and stuff like that. I just haven't really had the time to stream in a while. But I will say I'm glad that I came back to streaming today. It was definitely fun, and it's definitely fun to see these old builds. Actually, to see like this is like the old version of um. And I will say the people who helped me to build this ride definitely did a really great job with it. And this is, I believe it was Dr. Marvel Hall of Science. I think that was this ride, and you'll notice it's actually in the same place as in the new park. You'll notice it's in the same place as the Portal 2. So. We did sacrifice the ride, I think partly just because we wanted to have an indoor launch coaster. And I think just in general, we want to have a good amount of indoor attractions because it can just get really hot in the summer at our park. So we like to provide attractions that are indoors as much as we can. And we used to have a park map, which doesn't exist anymore. I actually still need to change that tag right there from cedar to timber. Um, I think this was a build I had moved over from someone's plot. Because yeah, this is a very old um this is a very old build. So I have a lot of even older builds and stuff. And this was our old this was a Cedar Hills Imagineering. Because I think we were originally going to be Imagineering, but then we on my new version of Cedar Hills Imagineering we're timber manufacturing because we're not really. I guess like we're not like a Disney affiliated park, so like we're more of like a kind of Six Flags Cedar Fair style park. That was kind of the style we were going for. And this is actually I haven't even been in this hotel in a very long time. Um, this was our I guess the paintings are gone. But this was our like resort hotel. Um, this was like our resort hotel for this resort. Yeah, but then it went all the way up to this part. But I want to say this is floor 7. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop sidetracking now. I really need to get back on task. So I need to warp to and see if I can get closest to what we were actually gonna be working on for this episode. Um, Now I don't actually remember how long the launch track is supposed to be for this ride. I think I actually did do well what I might do is I might go ahead and just take a look at like what 125 blocks looks like because I believe that was the original launch track. And actually, well, yeah, I was gonna say I'll fix the night vision thing when I have a chance to do that. It feels like I've been streaming for a long time, and I've only been streaming for like an hour so far. So I guess you can tell it's been a long time since I've streamed. Um, but yeah, I need to bring the launch track out that far. Okay, so that'll be the actual launch section of the track. And then now I need to look at that. There we go. And then I think what I'll do, so now that I made the launch section, the train will basically stop here before it launches, and then I'll go like, woo, and it'll launch you. So that'll be the end of the launch track, and then this will be, I'm gonna have it go 5 blocks in between right there, have that be the point where it decides, um, like whether or not it's going to make it over the top hat. And then we'll have a few blocks after that, and then we'll start the climb into the top hat. Oh, and actually, I don't know if I have the. I definitely don't have the original measurements, which is unfortunate, but I want to say I did 555,777. I could be wrong. Or it might have been 977555333111111, and then 333555779, and then the. I really should have taken this with a lot more detail. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think it was 7 times 2 the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it was. Yeah, I will say that like when you have to create the pull up into the top head, it's definitely something that takes a lot of there's a lot of profiling I guess that goes into it because you have to really profile it to make sure that people aren't going to die if they ride your coaster. So I actually do want to make sure that this is correct. Yeah, I think that looks definitely nice and gradual. I do like that. Um, all right, and then this is where I do have to bring it up to the correct height. Which for this ride, I will say this ride goes up to 480 feet, so it makes it the tallest, both the tallest and the fastest coaster in Minecraft, and also if this coaster were built in real life in North America, it would be the tallest and fastest coaster in North America, which is very cool. All right, I think we are getting pretty close to where I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, so I guess I'll go ahead and do the outro now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please be sure to follow me on Twitch if you want to see any of these future streams. I think for the most part, I'll just be doing a lot of Minecraft streams, maybe even some schedule on streams here and there. I think especially when the next update comes out, we'll probably try and get some schedule on streams going for that. I think I'll also just kind of here and there play it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the stream, and this will be posted on YouTube as well. I post kind of all of my Twitch streams on YouTube, so um, I'll be posting this on YouTube. So I just definitely be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube and like my videos for more of this content. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.